Welcome you all students to the new Design of Steel Structure MCQ Series 2. Myself Prashant Kumar City. If you didn't watch my last video, that is also based upon the objective of DSS, 10 number of objective I had discussed with the explanation basing upon the objectives. So here I came with another 15 number of objectives and I will try to explain you thoroughly regarding the 15 number of objectives which should be beneficial for you for the upcoming BPUT online semester examination, as well as this should be applicable for the competitive exam point of view. Okay, so I had came with the fundamental questions which should be very much important for the design of steel structure subject point of view. So question number 1, limited method is based on. So these are the four options: calculation on service load alone, calculation on ultimate load condition alone, calculation at working loads and ultimate loads, and the fourth one, calculation on earthquake loads. So basing upon the questions, I am trying to explain the things. Our design is based upon three conditions, three types of design we are having: working stress method, ultimate load method, and limited method. Okay, so working stress method is based on the calculation on service load condition alone, whereas ultimate load method is based upon the calculation on ultimate load condition alone, and in limited method, safety at ultimate loads and serviceability at working loads are considered. So basing upon the questions we are going through, the our proper answer should be option C, calculation at working loads and ultimate loads alone. Okay, so question number 2, what is limit state? You have to go what is limit state. Okay, so let us go for what is limit state. Option number 1, acceptable limits for safety and serviceability requirements before failure occurs, acceptable limits for safety and serviceability requirements after failure occurs, acceptable limits for safety and failure occurs, acceptable limits for serviceability after failure occurs. So okay, basing upon the limit states, this is also first question is limit state method is based upon what. Second question is limit state, what is limit state? At here, acceptable limits for safety and serviceability requirements before failure occurs is called limit state. Okay, getting my points? Once again I am repeating, acceptable limits for safety and serviceability requirements before failure occurs is called limit state. In limit state design, structure are designed on the basis of safety against failure and are checked for serviceability requirement. So basing upon the explanation or my answer, your answer should be based upon what is limit state. Your simplest answer should be acceptable limits for safety and serviceability requirements before failure occurs. So moving to the question number 3, which of the following format is used in limited method? Which of the following format should be used for the limited method of objective? And the options are single safety factor, multiple safety factor, load factor, and wind factor. So limit, as I mentioned, limited method uses multiple safety factor format that helps to provide adequate safety at ultimate loads and adequate serviceability at service loads by considering all possible limit states. Multiple safety factor format is also called partial safety factor format. So basing upon the question number 3, our answer should be based upon multiple safety factor. So let us move to the question number 4. Which of the following factors is included in the limit state? Which of the following factor should be considered in the limit state of strength? So basing upon the question, limit state of strength are prescribed to avoid collapse of structure which may endanger safety of life and property. It includes loss of equilibrium of whole or part of structures, loss of stability of structure as a whole or part of structure, failure by excessive deformation, fracture due to fatigue, and the final one based upon the brittle fracture. So basing upon the question, our answer should be based upon failure by excessive deformation. So question number 5, which of the following factors is included in the limit state of serviceability? Limit state of serviceability, if the question should arises. Limit state of serviceability includes what? Deformation and deflection, adversely affecting appearance or effective use of structures, vibration in structure or any part of its compound limiting its functional effectiveness, repairable repair or crack due to fatigue, corrosion and fire. So basing upon the questions, repairable damage to crack due to fatigue should be the proper answer. Now this is also question number 4. If I am going to the question number 5, so question number 5 should be based upon the deformation and deflection adversely affecting appearance or effective use of structure. So moving to the next question. Question number 6. What is permanent actions according to classification of action by IS code? Permanent actions are action due to self-weight of structural and non-structural components, fittings, fixed equipments, etc. Like this, your answer should be based upon that. So moving to the question number 7. What is variable? What is variable actions according to the classification of action by IS code? Variable actions are action due to construction and service stage loads such as imposed loads, wind loads, earthquake loads, etc. Okay, variable actions are actions due to construction and service stage loads such as imposed load, wind loads, earthquake loads, etc. So your answer should be according to that. Question number 8. Which of the following relation is correct? Which of the following relation is correct? Design load is equals to characteristic load. Design load is equals to characteristic load plus partial factor of safety. Design load is equals to characteristic load divided by partial factor of safety. Design load should be characteristic load into partial factor of safety. So what should be the proper answer? Proper answer should be design load is equals to partial factor of safety into characteristic load. The partial safety factor accounts for possibility of unfavorable deviation of load from characteristic value, inaccurate assessment of load, uncertainty in assessment of effects of load, and in assessment of limit state being considered. So basing upon that, your answer should be based upon the answer D. So question number 9. Which of the following relation is correct? So these are the 4 options. Which of the following relations should be correct? 4 options are given to you. Basing upon that, you should answer. So which answer should be correct? Read out the answer. Design strength equals to ultimate strength plus partial factor of safety. Like that, your proper answer out of these 4 is the design strength equals to ultimate strength divided by partial factor of safety. The partial factor of safety accounts for possibility of unfavorable deviation of material strength from characteristic value, variation of member sizes, reduction in member strength due to fabrication and tolerances, and uncertainty in calculation of strength of members. So question number 10. The partial factor of safety for resistance governed by ultimate strength. What should be the answer? Simple. Partial safety factor for resistance governed by ultimate strength. Your answer should be based upon 1.25, which is option number D. Okay, this is based upon ultimate strength 1.25. Factors affecting ultimate strength are stability, fatigue and plastic collars. The loads are multiplied or resistances are divided by this factor to get design values. So question number, at here written 8, but this is question number 11. This is my fault. What is the minimum imposed load on roof trusses as per IS code? As per IS code, as per IS 875, the minimum imposed load on roof should be 0.4 kilonewton per meter square. For sloping roof up to 10 degree, the imposed load is taken as 0.5 kilonewton per meter square. Remember, for sloping roof up to 10 degree. If SS is not provided and if SS is not provided, it should be 0.75 kilonewton per. If SS is not provided, it is 0.5. If SS is provided, it should be 0.75 kilonewton per meter square. So basing upon that, what is the minimum imposed load on roof trusses as per IS code? Your answer should be 0.4 kilonewton per meter square. Calculate the imposed load on roof truss of span 20 meter with a slope of 20 degree. So same question, only varieties, instead of 10 degree it is mentioned right here 20 degree. So as per IS 875, the slope greater than 10 degree, the imposed load is reduced by how much? 0.02 kilonewton per meter square for every degree rise in slope. So you are getting how much degree rise at here? You are getting 20. So apart from that, your formula should be based upon 0.75 minus 0.02 into, already we are having 20 degree, up to 10 degree we can assess. So 20 minus 10, how much you are getting? We are getting 10. So 0.75 minus 0.02 into 10. So what is the answer? The answer should be, I have the calculator, that's why I am multiplying the proper answer, and the proper answer is how much? 0.55 kilonewton per meter square. Then question number 13, which IS code is used for designing a structure considering earthquake loads? Considering earthquake loads, as you know, the earthquake code is 1893, is used for designing a structure considering earthquake loads. For all others load like dead load, wind load, IS 875 is used for the design. Okay, and as you know, IS 456 is based upon the concrete structures, and IS 800 is based upon the limited method. At here earthquake load is asked, that's why 1893. For earthquake load, axially loaded members have to resist what? For earthquake loads, axially loaded members to resist what? Earthquake are cyclic and induce reversal of stresses. Hence, as per seismic philosophy, axial loaded members have to resist both tension and compression. So both tension and compression, which option is correct? Option number C is correct. Which of the following factors does not influence earthquake resistant design? Which of the following does not influence earthquake resistant design? The factors which influence earthquake resistance design are: point number 1, geographical location of structure; point number 2, site and foundation condition; point number 3, importance of structure; point number 4, dynamic characteristics of structure such as strength, stiffness, ductility and energy dissipation factor. So as for these, which option should be correct? Option number B, wind of location, should be the correct answer for the question. Okay, so this much we are having 15 number of, we had discussed 15 number question with the answer. So I hope the question should be clear to all of you. Best of luck for the exam, if you are preparing for the competitive exam, or if you are going for the semester online exam. This question should be helpful to all of you. Thank you, have a nice day.